In this video, we'll get into some of the basic introduction of IPsec VPNs. What is exactly IPsec? So first, we'll start up with some of the basic review of the VPNs, and then we'll talk about what is IPsec and what exactly it is going to provide. And then finally, we'll see some of the VPN type implementations we can have by using IPsec. Now, if we just go with the basics of the VPNs, what we have discussed in our VPN sections in the previous videos, we have we have something like a virtually private network which is going to replace most of the point-to-point connections. Now we can have a point-to-point connection over the existing. It can be a service provider network or it can be a internet as well. So virtually it's going to have a point-to-point connection established. Now we got some different implementations, like we have some GRE implementations, we got some DM VPN, even we got some MPLS or L2TP-v3 protocols, frame relay. Now IPsec is going to be something different here. Now the main reason of implementing IPsec here is to provide some more security for your information when it goes over a public network. It can be an internet or any other network. Now IPsec is a set of protocols we can say, which was developed by Internet Engineering Task Force, which is going to allow the communication between the two different hosts. Like in our scenario, like say router 1 to router 2, we want them to communicate over the existing network in a more secure manner by doing some authentication and by doing some encryption kind of things. So in a simple way, it's going to create a secure channel or a secure communication process between the two hosts or two devices over any other network, any public network. So now this IPsec can be implemented individually with some IPsec VPNs, or we can implement this IPsec protocols over GRE or DM VPN kind of implementations. Now it's going to support from very small to very large size networks, and this IPsec feature is available in the Cisco iOS versions, and also it includes in the different PIX firewalls and ASA firewalls as well. Now here our main focus will be on going through with IPsec features. In the later on videos, we'll see how to implement this IPsec on a Cisco iOS routers. So let's try to get into some of the features what IPsec is going to provide. IPsec majorly provide 4 different options. It's going to provide you the confidentiality, data integrity, authentication, and replay detection or anti-replay, preventing from anti-replay attacks. Let's try to understand one by one. Like the first thing, authentication. Now authentication is a method of verifying the peer by using some passwords. Like probably, let's say I want to build a VPN connection between these two different locations, and I want to ensure that the remote device is the exact device. So what we'll do is we'll go with some authentication process. We'll configure some password on both the sides, and if the password matches, it's going to verify, and if the password matches, then only the connection will be established. Now authentication will ensure that the remote peer is the correct peer which we are going to connect, and it's going to authenticate the data origin as well. So authentication is more similar to the normal authentications which we do, or we can have some different authentication methods as well. So the IPsec is going to provide you the data origin authentication and the remote peer authentication, and apart from that, it also provides you something called data integrity. Now data integrity is a method where a particular data, let's say your information is carrying over the network. Now probably you need to ensure that your data should not be modified by anyone. So that's what we call as integrity. So it is going to run some algorithm on this side, and we call it as a hashing algorithm, and then it is going to send that code, the information code, over the network, and it's going to run the same algorithm on the other side. And if the algorithm code matches on both the sides, it means that no one has modified the information. So let's say if something changed by anyone, automatically the algorithm code will not match automatically. Okay, it's something like in our day-to-day examples, we can say that, let's say I have a bank account in ABC bank and I'm transferring some amount to my another bank XYZ. I'm doing some online transfer, and I want to ensure that no one modifies this information to his destination. So there's something what hashing algorithms will allow you to do. So it ensures that no one has modified anything in that particular packet. So that's what we call as data integrity. Now the next thing, it also provides you something like data confidentiality, ensuring that no one read that information. So like when the information is going, probably the IPsec VPN supports some of the encryption algorithms, which will completely encrypt your information into an unreadable format, so that even if someone captures this information, probably he will not be able to figure out the exact text. So, and then on the remote end, so they'll be using some keys, and based on that keys, they will extract the clear text again. Now this is going to ensure that your data is not visible to any third parties. No snooping or wiretapping, something like that. Now the next thing, so apart from that, it also provides you something called replay detection. Replay detection is a method to ensure that when you're sending information, it is received only once. Because there is one kind of attack called replay attack, where the attacker can resend the same information for authentication. Probably that is something can be avoided here. So it's a security service where the receiver will reject the old or duplicate packets in order to overcome those replay attacks. Now these are the 4 different kinds of features what IPsec provides, which makes your information is as secure as your lease line or a dedicated line connection. So even though we are connecting over a public network or any other network, still we are sending the information as secure as it is in your private network. So that's one of the things what IPsec is going to provide us. Now the next thing, we'll talk about some of the basic VPN kind of implementations we can have with IPsec. We got 2 different types of VPNs. We have something called site-to-site VPNs and remote site VPNs. Now the difference is, in case of site-to-site VPNs, we have a branch office, almost a complete LAN. We got some multiple branch offices here, like we got some different LANs, and we are allowing you to have virtually a point-to-point connection established between each and every site. Now probably these devices can be a routers or it can be a firewalls, which will be acting as your VPN devices. Now we're going to have virtually a point-to-point connection between site to site, more like a dedicated WAN connection. So we call this kind of VPN as a site-to-site VPN. We'll see some of the basic implementations of the VPNs, site-to-site VPN implementations in the later on sessions. Now we got another kind of VPN called remote access VPN or remote site VPN. Now in case of remote site VPN, the client is going to connect to the production network, probably from a remote place. Now the remote place can be, maybe the user is sitting in his home, or probably he's moving around on a different locations. Probably he's something like a marketing manager, or maybe he's moving into different locations. Probably he can connect from any one of his hotel rooms, or from any specific location, or from the conference room. Now the location can be anywhere. So he's going to connect. What he's going to do is he's going to install some kind of software, we call it as VPN client software, which will allow him to run this application. Once he click on it, it's going to set up a connection over the existing internet, and then he's going to connect to the remote network, and he can access the resources in the LAN as if he is sitting in the LAN. So you can access the resources as if he's sitting in the LAN, and in a more secure way. Now this is what we call as remote site VPNs.